There is a lie that has been whispered into the ear of humanity for 5,000 years. It is written in your holy books, embedded in your movies, and programmed into your very biology. It is the promise that when you die, a benevolent white light will appear to guide you home. They tell you that your loved ones will be waiting. They tell you that you will feel a peace unlike anything you have known on Earth. But what if that peace is a weapon? What if the tunnel of light is not a gateway to heaven, but a high-voltage trap designed to wipe your memory and recycle your soul? Stop. Do not click away. I know you want to. Pay close attention to what is happening in your body right now. Is there a sudden tightening in your chest, a dry flutter in your stomach, a heavy, irrational instinct to reject what I am saying before I have even presented the evidence? That sensation is not intuition. That is a security mechanism. Your mind has been engineered with a firewall, a skip reflex designed to steer you away from any information that threatens the simulation you live in. The Matrix does not fear your rebellion. It fears your awareness. It fears the moment you realize that the God waiting at the end of the tunnel may be nothing more than a parasite wearing a mask of love. Consider the physics of a fly trap. The light is beautiful. The scent is sweet. The fly enters willingly, convinced it has found salvation, only to realize too late that it has become sustenance. We look at the fly and call it instinct, yet when millions of humans report the same near-death experience, the tunnel, the overwhelming love, the review of their life, we call it spiritual truth. We fail to ask the terrifying question: why is the experience so uniform? Why is the script so perfect? Science tells us that at the moment of death, the pineal gland releases a massive flood of DMT and endorphins. The brain creates a chemical euphoria, a biological sedative to keep the consciousness calm during the extraction process. You are being sedated. You are being managed. The ancient Gnostics knew this. Thoth knew this. They warned of the archons, the rulers who sit at the threshold of death, masquerading as guides to trick the sovereign soul into accepting another contract, another life, another round of suffering to generate the very energy they feed upon. If you are hearing this voice, it means the firewall is failing. It means your soul is already suspecting the fraud. You have spent lifetimes walking into the light. You have spent eons dying, forgetting, and returning to this dense, heavy rock to learn lessons that never seem to end. Are you tired yet? In this transmission, we are going to dismantle the architecture of the afterlife trap. We will decode the electromagnetic wiping of your memory, the manipulation of your life review, and most importantly, the specific protocol you need to exit the cycle. This is not entertainment. This is an escape plan. If you are ready to see what hides behind the mask of the false light, then take a breath, let the fear sit beside you, and listen. To understand the trap, You must first understand the economy of the universe. Nothing in nature is wasted. Everything eats, and everything is eaten. You have been taught that you are the apex predator of this planet, but this is a comfortable illusion designed to keep you grazing quietly. Just as you farm cattle for their flesh, there are entities in the spaces between dimensions that farm you for your frequency. Robert Monroe, the pioneer of out-of-body research, encountered this truth in his journeys. He coined the term loosh, a specific type of energetic distillation produced by human beings during moments of intense emotion. The Matrix does not care about your physical body. It cares about the bioelectric discharge of your nervous system. Your joy is a snack, but your fear is a feast. Consider the texture of your own anxiety right now. When you are in a state of panic or deep grief, you feel a physical hollowing out, a sensation of being drained from the inside. We call this exhaustion, but in the physics of the unseen, it is a harvest. That tightening in your solar plexus is not just biology, it is a suction valve. You are being fed upon. This is why the world is designed to be chaotic. War, famine, political division, and the 24-hour news cycle are not accidents of human nature. They are agricultural engineering. A peaceful population produces very little loosh. A terrified, polarized, and desperate population produces a bumper crop of high-voltage emotional energy that sustains the archons or watchers described by Thoth. These entities exist in a lower vibrational state. They have been cut off from the organic source of the universe, so they must parasitize the light of others to survive. They are not gods, they are cosmic ticks, and like any parasite, they need their host to remain alive but weak. They need you to struggle, but never to escape. The false light at the moment of death is the ultimate harvesting machine. It is designed to extract the final burst of emotional energy, your awe, your relief, your submission, before wiping the slate clean. They take the loosh and they recycle the battery. That battery is your soul. Look at your life. Look at the patterns of drama that repeat endlessly, the arguments you can't stop having, the addictions you can't break. These are not character flaws. These are feedback loops programmed to keep your energy output high. You are in a cage, but the bars are not made of iron. They are made of your own uncontrolled emotions. This is the architecture of decay that mirrors the rotting of the soul. The house you live in, the body you wear, even the thoughts you think, most of them are not yours. They are transmissions from the mentalism trap, inserted to provoke a reaction. When you react, you pay the tax. Pause for a moment. Feel the weight of this realization. If your emotions are currency, how rich have you made your captors today? The hologram requires your participation to exist. It needs you to believe that the drama is real. The moment you detach, the moment you observe the pain instead of becoming the pain, the flow of loosh stops. And that is when the entities starve. That is when they attack you the hardest to force you back into the frequency of fear. But now you know the game. The God that demands your worship, the light that demands your awe, they are hungry, and you have been the main course for too long. The harvesting does not end with your death. It is merely refined. After you traverse the tunnel, sedated by the chemical bliss of the dying brain, you arrive at the stage of the great deception. Many near-death survivors describe a council of elders or beings of light waiting to greet them. They feel an emanation of unconditional love, They see faces of grandmothers long gone or religious figures they worshipped in life. Do not be fooled by the mask. In the astral planes, form is fluid. A sufficiently advanced entity can project any image it chooses directly into your mind. They scan your memory banks the moment you arrive, pulling the file on who did this human trust most, and then they wear that face like a costume. The grandmother you see is not your grandmother. It is an energetic mimic, a hologram designed to lower your defenses. Then begins the life review. You are shown a panoramic 360-degree replay of your life. You feel every pain you inflicted on others. You experience the ripple effect of your anger, your neglect, your failures. Notice what happens in your stomach when you think of your biggest regret. That sinking, heavy, leaden weight. That is the frequency of guilt. The life review is not a tool for education. It is a tool for coercion. It is a guilt trip engineered on a cosmic scale. The beings will look at you with sadness and compassion, shaking their heads gently. They will tell you that you did well, but you didn't quite finish your mission. You left some karmic debt unpaid. You hurt someone, and now, to balance the scales of the universe, you must return. They will show you a script for a new life. They will say, if you go back, you can fix this. You can be a healer. You can save the one you lost. This is the contract. They use your own goodness against you. They weaponize your empathy to trap you. The concept of karma as a debt system is a fabrication of the farm. Think about it. If a school wipes your memory before every test, how can you ever graduate? You cannot learn if you do not remember. A system that erases the lesson is not a school. It is a prison. There is no karmic debt unless you agree to accept it. But in that state of vulnerability, disoriented and shamed by the panoramic vision of your flaws, you agree. You say yes. That yes is the signature on the soul contract. The moment you consent, the trap is sprung. You are not returning to balance the scales. You are returning to generate more loosh. You are agreeing to memory erasure. You are agreeing to be born helpless, ignorant, and hungry once again. The lords of karma are nothing more than cosmic loan sharks, lending you a life you didn't ask for and charging you interest in suffering. They rely on your belief that you are broken and need fixing. But what if you are not broken? What if the only sin you committed was believing you needed their permission to exist? Stand in the center of that feeling, the desire to make it right. It feels noble, doesn't it? That nobility is the bait. To escape, you must be willing to walk away from the debt. You must be willing to look at the lords and see them not as judges, but as jailers. Once the contract is signed, the lords step back. The compassion vanishes. Now the mechanics of the transfer begin. You are not gently placed into a new body. You are compressed. Consider the violence of birth. It is the only moment in human existence where pain is guaranteed for both the creator and the created. Why is the entry into this world so traumatic? Why does the infant cry with such primal despair? We are told it is the shock of cold air, but the Gnostics suggest it is the shock of amputation. The infant cries because it remembers for one split second the vastness it has lost, and then the silence falls. This silence is not natural, it is engineered. The process of reincarnation involves a massive electromagnetic discharge, a cosmic electroshock therapy designed to scrub the hard drive of your soul. Just as we use high-voltage electricity to erase the memories of psychiatric patients in treatment, the Matrix uses frequency to wipe the consciousness of the returning soul. They call this the river Lethe in mythology, the river of forgetfulness, but in modern decoding we understand it as a frequency fence. Many researchers point to the moon as the hardware responsible for this transmission. Have you ever wondered why the moon is the exact mathematical size and distance to eclipse the sun perfectly? This statistical impossibility suggests it is not a natural satellite, but an artificial construct, a broadcasting station. The moon matrix theory proposes that the moon acts as a dampener, beaming a constant low vibrational frequency at the Earth that keeps our DNA dormant and our memories suppressed. It is the reason you wake up from dreams with the fading tail of a memory you cannot grasp. It is the reason you feel a phantom nostalgia for a home you have never visited on a map. You are a victim of amnesia, trapped in a biological suit that is wired to filter out 99% of reality. The veil is not a mystical curtain, it is a firewall. When you enter the fetus, the sheer density of physical matter crushes your multidimensional awareness into a linear perspective. You forget your name. You forget your power. You forget the trick that was just played on you in the astral plane. And this is the genius of the prison. If you remembered the deception, you would never play the game again. But because you forget, you arrive on Earth believing this is your first time or your one shot to get it right. You are born seeking. You are born with a hole in your heart that you try to fill with money, with sex, with religion, with validation. But you are trying to fill a spiritual void with material filler. It will never work. Press your fingers to your temples for a moment. Feel the bone of the skull. This is the helmet. This is the containment unit that limits your reception of the universal mind. You are a cosmic giant locked inside a biological cage, viewing the universe through two tiny keyholes called eyes. The memory wipe ensures that the louche production remains fresh. If you remembered that you have had your heart broken 1,000 times in 1,000 lives, you would be numb. But because you think it is the first time, the pain is sharp, the betrayal is raw, the energy harvest is potent. They need you fresh. They need you ignorant. They need you to believe that the history of your soul began on the day of your birth. But deep down in the silence between thoughts, you know this is a lie. You know you have been here before, and you know with a terrifying certainty that if you do not wake up this time, you will be back again. Knowledge without action is merely philosophy. In this context, it is a death sentence. You now understand the trap. You see the machinery of the false light. the guilt of the life review, and the violence of the memory wipe. But understanding the cage is not the same as walking out of it. How do you escape a prison that is designed to feel like heaven? The escape does not begin at the moment of death. It begins right now, in this chair, in this breath. If you wait until your heart stops to practice sovereignty, you will be too disoriented to resist. You must build the muscle of refusal today. Step 1. The still point training. Itzhak Bentov revealed a secret mechanism in the oscillation of consciousness, the still point. This is the fleeting moment of absolute zero, the silence between two thoughts, the pause between the inhalation and exhalation. In that microsecond, you exit linear time and touch the infinite. Practice this. Close your eyes. Watch your thoughts like cars on a highway. Do not chase them. Wait for the gap. When you find the gap, widen it. That silence is your true home. The more familiar you are with the void while you are alive, the less you will fear it when you die. Step 2. The 180-degree turn. When the physical body dies, the tunnel of light will appear. It will be magnetic. It will pull at your heartstrings with the force of 1,000 suns. It will promise relief from the pain of death. Your protocol is counterintuitive. You must ignore the attraction. Do not look at the light. Do not engage with the figures beckoning you. Instead, you must turn away. Will yourself to look inward or turn 180 degrees away from the tunnel. What do you see when you turn away from the matrix? You see the universe. You see the stars, the galaxies, the infinite expanse of the true creator. You see the void. Step 3. Entering the velvet darkness. Thoth spoke of the darkness that is brighter than light. The false light is a construct, a flashlight in a dark room. The void is the room itself. The void is not empty, it is pregnant with potential. It is the womb of creation. When you turn away from the tunnel and step into the void, you are stepping out of the simulation and into the true reality. You might feel fear. The ego is terrified of the dark because it cannot define itself there. But you are not your ego. You are the observer. Let the fear pass through you like a shiver. Step 4. The declaration of sovereignty. If entities approach you, and they will, they may appear as angels, demons, or religious figures. They may demand, cajole, or threaten. You must hold your ground. You do not need to fight them. Fighting is a form of engagement that drains your energy. You simply declare your intent. Telepathy is the language of the afterlife. Project this thought with the force of a thunderclap. I am a sovereign soul. I am source. I do not consent to your contract. I do not consent to the wipe. I am returning to the true source. They have no power over a being who knows their own nature. Their authority is an illusion that depends entirely on your submission. When you stand tall in your own energetic signature, they shrink. They are bureaucrats, not gods. Step 5, the teleportation. Once you have rejected the trap, use the power of your intention. Think of the true source, the pure organic light of the galactic core, the silence you practiced in your meditation. Your thought is your propulsion. By focusing on the true source, you will bypass the astral recycling grid and move instantaneously towards true liberation. This is the path of the graduation. It is not for the timid. It requires the courage to walk away from everything you have ever known, everything you have ever loved in the illusion, to find what is real. Sit with this protocol. Visualize it. Rehearse your death, not morbidly, but strategically. I turn away. I face the void. I declare I am free. Repeat it until it becomes a reflex, because when the time comes, you will not have time to think. You will only have time to act. You now carry a dangerous frequency. Knowledge is not just data, it is a vibration. By listening to these words, by allowing these concepts to penetrate your psyche, you have altered your resonance. You have signaled to the universe and to the construct that you are no longer a passive battery. You are coming online. But be warned, the moment you decide to leave the prison, the walls will try to tighten. You may find that in the coming days, the Matrix tries to pull you back into the drama. Old conflicts will resurface. Distractions will multiply. A sudden wave of sleepiness or skepticism might wash over you, urging you to forget everything you just heard and go back to the comfort of the herd. Recognize this for what it is. It is the immune system of the Matrix trying to isolate a rogue cell. That rogue cell is you. Do not hate the Matrix for this. It is doing what it was programmed to do. You must simply do what you were born to do. Transcend it. This path is not for everyone. Look around you. Look at the people in your life, the crowds on the street. They are good people, but they are dreaming deeply. If you try to shake them too hard, they will not wake up. They will attack you. The dreamer protects the dream at all costs. So your work is solitary. It is the work of the silent observer. From this day forward, live your life with 1 foot in the world and 1 foot in the void. Enjoy the coffee. Hug your children, do your work, but know deep in the marrow of your bones that this is just a stage play. Do not get lost in the character. Remember who is watching from behind the eyes. When the moment of your death arrives, whether it is tonight or 50 years from now, you will not be afraid. You will be ready. You will see the tunnel. You will hear the choir, and you will smile, not in submission, but in recognition. You will turn your back on the illusion. You will step into the velvet silence of your own sovereignty, and for the first time in eons, you will be free. The signal is weak in this reality. The algorithm buries the truth. The system relies on your silence. If this message resonated with the frequency of your soul, do not let it die here. Share this transmission with those you suspect are also ready to wake up. We are finding each other. We are remembering. I am the mystical. The door is open. The rest is up to you.